Hi there, welcome back. Another cool video in the works here. This is one that I've had on my mind for a couple of weeks. My buddies at Madison Armament were able to hook me up with a Vortex Razor Gen 3 1-10 that I'll be able to compare to my 4-16 ATACR at long distance. So LPVOs are getting a ton of interest right now because they are extremely versatile optics. You're able to use them up close, stretch them out to mid distance. But my question is, how far can we effectively stretch this optic? And how does it stack up against something like a dedicated long-range optic? So we'll explore that in this video. But first, how'd you like that intro? So Nutshell from Instagram reached out to me and said, hey man, I got an idea for a logo, would you use it? And I said, of course. So moving forward, I'm gonna start displaying that there in the beginning of the videos. I love it. Check out Nutshell. I will have a link to his Instagram in my description below. So the idea for the video is to take a rifle. I got the SCAR 20S here in 6.5 Creedmoor. These things, you see them all over the internet creating controversy, but I love this thing. It's a great shooter. I'm shooting the 140 AMAX. It's running about 2,670 feet per second. Just a general load I threw together. I didn't fine tune it or tweak it or anything. I'm just burning up some bullets and making content. So it'll shoot good enough for what we're gonna do out here today. My optic is a 4-16 ATACR with a trimmer 3 reticle in it. I got a ton of time behind this scope. I love it. That trimmer 3 is awesome. Extremely clear glass, very effective parallax adjustment. The optic I was loaned from Madison Armament, they hooked me up with, is a 1-10 Vortex. Man, these things are awesome. I love this thing. Just in a little bit I've been able to play with it. I'm a huge fan of this thing. So it's got a Christmas tree reticle in it. It's a mil scope. From what I've seen, it's going to be extremely effective. I haven't had a chance to actually shoot it to distance yet, but we're going to do that here shortly. Before we get fired up, what are we going to be shooting? So I'm going to shoot paper at 100, give you an idea of how things look through the Tacticam on paper at 100, and then we'll stretch out and shoot steel. So for steel, I've got a 6-inch square out there at about 260 yards, I believe. I got a half-inch or a half-size IPSC at 380, 2/3 IPSC at 500, 2/3 IPSC at 770, and a full-size IPSC at 1100. So we got plenty of steel, plenty of distance to be able to put both of these optics to the test on this rifle. This rifle is very capable to 1100. I've taken it further than that. So rifle will not be an issue. But what I want to do is get an idea. I'm going to run through it first with this ATACR, kind of use that as a baseline. Then we'll throw the 1-10 on and do the exact same course of fire. And I'll give you my thoughts on how the 1-10 performed compared to the 4-16 in these longer distance shots. So don't forget to check me out on Instagram. Don't forget to check out Madison Armament, partner here on the channel. Use promo code MUSTACHE for 10% off of your order. With that, let's start shooting. All right, we're down here at 100 yards with the SCAR 20 with the 4-16 on it. I was going to put 5 rounds on the paper, see what a group looks like, see what our zero looks like before we move out to steel. So hopefully you can see what I'm shooting at here in the Tacticam. Fresh sheet of paper. I'm going to put 5 rounds on the lower left dot. A little bit of mirage, but okay. A little low. All right, nice little group down there. I'm going to come 1/10 to the left and 1/10 up, and we'll call that zeroed. Let's walk down and take a look. Here we are walking up to our 100-yard target we just shot. You can see my group there on that lower left dot. 5 rounds out of the SCAR 20 with the 4-16 ATACR. If I put that up there, we're just shy of 1.25 inches, so just over 1 MOA with a pretty generic load that I threw together. So we're up here with the SCAR 20. with the 4-16 ATACR. I've got my target set out there. I've got 9 rounds loaded up. My plan right now is to put 3 rounds on that 260-yard square, 3 on the half-size IPSC at like 380, I think, and then 3 on the 2/3 IPSC out there at 500. So 9 rounds loaded up. I'm gonna hold over in the trimmer 3 reticle. I'm gonna hold my windage. That said, this Tacticam, I can't really zoom this nightforce without twisting the image that you're seeing. So right now I'm at about 12.5 to 13 power, and I'm just gonna leave it there while I shoot this. It should be fine. I've used this scope enough, and the point of this video is the LPVO. So I'm gonna leave it right here at about 13 power, but let's put 9 rounds down and see if we can make some hits. All right. So there's our close target, 6-inch square. I'm gonna hold over 0.7. Impact. 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 So it's a little low on the plate. All right, there's our half size at 380. I'm gonna hold over 1.6. And I'm gonna go dead on for this first round. Ooh, impact on the right edge. Impact on the right edge. Impact all 3 on the right edge. Now let's put 3 on the 500-yard target. And I'm gonna favor left given what we're seeing. You gotta hold over 2.7. 2.7. I'm gonna go left edge. Impact. I'm gonna go on the plate. Impact. Oh, we're out of rounds. I guess I didn't load 9, I loaded 8, but you get the gist. All right, 2/3 IPSC, 770 yards with the ATACR. I'm on 13 power. Let's put 5 rounds on it. There's a light on that target, so it should flash when we make an impact. I got to hold over 5.8. I'm going to favor left edge. Impact. Got some mirage going. Impact. 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 Oh, okay, it was just up over the right shoulder. All right, we got a full-size IPSC out there at 1100. Put 5 rounds on it. I'm going to favor up 11.5 and left 1.5. Impact. Impact. Off the right edge. Favor a little bit more. Impact. Impact. 4 or 5 at 1100. I was holding like 11.5 mils. All right, so I swapped over to the Vortex 1-10. I've put 4 rounds through it so far, just getting a rough 0. I think I'm pretty close. Now I've got 5 rounds loaded up. Let's shoot a group, see what our 0 looks like, and then we can move back to steel with this 1-10. Sorry about the blue tape. This Tacticam was pulling light in through the split in the mount, so I tried to tape it up to make it better. Should be all right for this. I'm going to shoot the bottom right dot. We've got a direct comparison to our other group from the ATACR. All right. All right, best I can tell, those are all pretty well zeroed up, maybe just a little bit high. Pretty cool thing about this 1 to 10 is that transparent center dot. So you probably noticed the center dot is bigger than the dot I'm actually shooting, but when I look through this with my eye, I can actually see my target dot inside of the transparent center dot of the 1 to 10. I don't know if you can see that in the Tacticam. I can't tell how clear the image actually is, but pretty cool. I think we got a decent group. Let's go take a look. All right, here we are walking up to the group we just shot with the 1 to 10. Lower right corner, you can see that sub MOA. I'm gonna move that down a tenth before we shoot the steel, but for my zeroing, I put this one here from about 25 yards. And then these three, there's actually three under there. I was shooting this dot from 100. So 1, 3, and then I just put the 5 there. So I'm gonna refine that with one click down, and here we go on steel. So we've moved back up here on top of the hill where we're gonna shoot our steel. 1 to 10 is mounted up. I'm gonna do the exact same course of fire. So I'm gonna try to put 3 rounds on the 3 closest targets in one string, and then move to 5 at 770, 5 at 1100. And then my plan is to kind of talk through what I'm seeing as I run through that course of fire. I haven't put any rounds through this 1 to 10 yet, other than the 100-yard zero we just did. So this will be my first run on steel, and hopefully I can give you my first impressions. So let's do it. All right, so we should be looking out here. We're at 1 power on the 1 to 10. You can see my 260-yard target there. 380s over here. 500, 770, and 1100 clear across the hill over there. So beautiful 1 power. That's awesome for spotting targets. Now, let's get down to the meat of it, which is shooting. All right, here we go. 9 rounds. So to shoot this, I'm going to zoom in all the way to 10. And we're holding 0.7. Here we go. I'm going to favor left. Impact. 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 Not exactly as precise as the Trimmer 3. All right, we're on our 380-yard half size. I got to hold 1.6. I'm going to go left edge. Impact. 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 Now let's find our 500. There she is. I got to hold 2.7. All right, so 2.7, I'm going to favor left edge. We're kind of into the wind. Ooh, high and a little right. Let me come down to 2.5 and increase our wind. Impact. Impact. So there's the 500-yard target we just shot. I loaded up 5 more rounds. Now let's pop out there. Let's put them on that 770-yard 2/3 IPSC. Man, I really like that. Just huge field of view. Now I got to hold 5.8. I'm going to favor a half to the left. All right, that should be. Like I said, I really missed the detail of the trimmer 3, but all right, here we go. Ooh, way high and right, huh? So I need to hold a mil, and I'm going to come down to like 5.4. Impact. Just off the right edge. So a mil plus. Impact. I was holding a mil to the edge. Impact. Wind's a little bit trickier out here now. So I think that was 3 for 5. No fault of the optic. The only thing I'm noticing is I wish it had the detail of the trimmer 3. Otherwise, for me, glass is really clear. Now let's back out. I'll have to reload, but now for the 1100-yard target. Ooh, I don't have enough elevation. I was holding 11.5. And I've got in the reticle 11.5. Let me make sure you can see that. Yeah, so you can see that. So if you look in the Christmas tree on this scope, I've got 11 mils underneath, but I need to hold about 11.5 with windage. So I think what I might do is dial 1 mil up on my 0, and then I'll be able to hold in that 10.5 range. So let me do that. Because I want to be able to be in the Christmas tree. So I'm going to go up 1 full mil. Something I noticed about this scope, the hash marks are really close from the marker. Not close, they're far away. They're really far away, so it makes it hard to tell exactly which one of these little ticks you're on. So I just had to count them there. But now I've dialed up 1 mil. That means I should be able to hold 10.5 with windage. So that should put me in the ballpark right there on the 1100-yard torso. Alrighty, time to stretch the 1 to 10 out. Mother Nature's not doing us any favors. The wind has picked up pretty considerably since we shot earlier. Pretty major storm clouds moving in behind me here. And I got extra rounds. So I loaded up 10 rounds for 1100. Now remember, I dialed my 0 up 1 mil. So my actual drop was about 11.5, but I'm gonna hold 10.5 because I took 1 out in my 0. So that said, I'm gonna hold 10.5 and I'm gonna favor 2 mils to the left given the wind. So here we go. $11.5, 2 mils. Ooh, substantially right. 3 mils. Impact. 3 mils again. Impact. Impact. Off the right edge. Way off the right edge. Don't know what that was about. So I guess we're down to 9 rounds. Impact. Just high. Windage look good. Impact on the last round. Not sure what's up with that one. It's got a primer strike. I don't know. We'll see what happened to that one later. Anyway, I can't remember how many that was. I think that was at least maybe 6 out of 9. Maybe 5 out of 9. So pretty solid performance at 1100 for a 1 to 10. The things I notice, more zoom is always nice to be able to see that target, but that's a pretty generous target. I really miss the detail of the Tremor 3 reticle, being able to hold that wind and measure where my shots are. But as far as glass clarity, it looks very clear. I was concerned lack of parallax would be a problem, but it seems to be okay. All right, let's wrap it up. Okay, so I've got 5 rounds left. I was thinking it'd be cool just to show you a quick run of speed drop. Maybe I'll make some hits. So remember, speed drop, I've actually dialed 2.2 mils below my 0, and that should allow me to hold the range of the target in mils and hopefully make an impact. Got a lot of wind, not a ton of rounds, but I'm hoping for 1 on each of the first 3 targets and then 2 on the 770. Well, let's give it a go. All right, so there's their square. Remember, our square is at 260. So I'm going to hold 2.6. Impact. This one's at 380, so I'm going to hold 380, 3.8. Impact. Remember, we got our 500 yarder. I'm going to hold 5. I'm going to favor left edge. Ooh, off the right edge. All right, we got 1 round left for 770. So I'm going to hold 7.7. I'm going to go a mil to the left. Oh, off the right edge. Elevation looked decent though. So that's a taste of speed drop from the shooter's perspective. Pretty cool. Sorry about the Tacticam. I don't know why this thing slides around. All right, let's get this wrapped up. This wind is getting crazy. I got a storm blowing in. I think it's supposed to rain all night tonight, so it's going to get pretty nasty. But that said, my initial thoughts after running this 1 to 10 side by side with the 4 to 16, it's awesome. It is really, really awesome. So before I get into it, let me know in the comments what you thought about the Tacticam. I hope the Tacticam added value as the viewer. It was kind of a pain to set it up and keep it going, especially between two scopes. I got to get better at that, but I really hope that enhanced your experience as a viewer. I was trying to relay kind of what I was seeing as the shooter. So let me know what you thought about that, because I've got some more cool stuff in mind for it. Now, when it comes down to the optic in the rifle, the rifle, awesome. You know, laid down some pretty nice groups down there at 100 yards with a super generic load that I threw together. Made hits all the way out to 1100 and definitely could have gone further. So love this SCAR. Man, this thing is super light recoiling at 6.5. Awesome rifle. You know, you read some stuff online from different folks, and I haven't experienced any of that. So this rifle's been really, really good to me. I don't shoot it as much as I should for several different reasons, but I always love to bring it out of the safe and show it off on the channel. So for the optic. So when I came into this, I was nervous about this optic's ability to lay down a small group at 100 yards. I was nervous about the coarse reticle, being able to correct and hold at distance. I was nervous about the 10 power top end when I got out there to 700 plus yards. And I tell you what, after shooting this thing today, those are not concerns of mine anymore. This is a very, very capable optic for distance shooting, especially when you think about what it is. Is it a precision optic? No. Does it have a trimmer 3 reticle? No. I love the trimmer 3. It's awesome for measuring and holding and wind dots and all the cool stuff, but it's very busy. When you think about where this optic would live on something like a DMR or a general purpose carbine or something like that, awesome package. So you could dial it back, you could do some close range shooting, you can check that out on other YouTube channels. But here, when I'm talking about distance, man, this thing, I love being able to dial back, huge field of view, find your target, dial up to 10 power, which is plenty for all the way out to 1100 on that full-size IPSC. Very capable when you think about what it is. So 100 yards, that transparent center dot, awesome. Very, very cool, because I was able to see the target dot inside of that, and it laid down a sub-MOA group. The reticle, while coarse, is very functional and usable. So it's not cluttered, which I like. And I was able, obviously, to see my hits out there, measure them, and get back on target at each distance we shot. Now the cap turret, I understand why it's capped, and it's good for this type optic. It is a little bit annoying how far the ticks are on the dial from the marker on the scope tube when you're trying to make your changes, but that's not the end of the world. Pretty much an optic like this, you're going to set it and then leave it there. That said, how I would run this optic would be speed drop. So speed drop, you know, I got it 0, but then I actually dialed down 2.2 mils, and that allows me to just hold in the reticle the distance of the target. So 500 yard target, I held 5 mils. 700 yard target, you hold 7 mils. That is an awesome way to run an optic like this, especially when you're going to be seeing some shots at distance. So when you think about where this optic would live, extremely, extremely capable. The glass in it looks really nice. I was nervous about the lack of parallax. I don't think I saw any issue there. Maybe more time with it. We'll see if that shows up, but initially, very, very effective. So appreciate you sticking around to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about the Tacticam. Can't wait to show you what else I've got in store. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Mountains Mullets America. Like this, subscribe, and comment if you enjoy this kind of video, because I've got more in the works. I want to share it with you, and I'm always open to ideas. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.